Welcome to Survivoneers. My name is James and I help truck drivers with their personal development out on the road. And here we also enjoy talking about trucking discussions related to the industry. In this video, I'm going to share my personal experience of going through college and why I'm still a truck driver. I'm going to give you some reasons why I enjoy truck driving, and of course other things related that are stressful in this industry. But if this sounds like you, at one point you may have thought about going to college and you weren't sure if you needed a degree or you needed to complete something to get out of the job market, I'm going to give my personal experience, and if it relates to you, I hope that it can help you in your journey as well. Growing up as young children and even into adulthood, we were taught that a college degree was necessary to be successful in life, that you had to go through a 4-year program and sometimes even a master's program, depending on your specific subject, to be successful in life. And this is something that I took to heart and always had in the back of my mind. Well, I need to go to school, I need to take classes, and I need to graduate, and I need to complete these programs, or I'm going to amount to nothing and not make any money out in the job market. And this is what my motivation was when I was taking college credits. And some of the things that I did study, just to give a brief background, in my formal education were psychology, aeronautics, and even theology. I accumulated over 200 college credits. And of course, circumstances do happen in life where maybe we're going through a divorce or a bad breakup or something that is life-changing, or circumstances we have experienced and we can't complete certain things. And this was my case when I was going to college in my early 20s into my early 30s. I had some life situations and I was not able to complete some of these programs, but I definitely accumulated a lot of college credit, and I learned, of course, how to be in the classroom and how to study. Even when I graduated from high school, I did have a desire to go to the military, and so I did active duty in the Army, and also I did some reserves in the Air Force. And at that time I was taking classes off and on where I could, because I thought I had to just do this and this was the norm. If you find yourself in this situation, maybe you're trying to decide what to do with your educational goals, I want to encourage you, it's not always necessary to get a college degree. And this is the narrative and this is the story that we're fed. And in my personal opinion about college institutions now is that many of them, of course, are there to just make money, and you take classes that you don't even need. And sometimes I do understand that, such as doctors or lawyers, someone that is specializing in a very specific subject needs certain courses, and they need these degrees to build the credibility and trust they need for the public. I'm not talking about those situations, but I'm talking about certain things that you pursue in life and you're thinking that, well, this is what I have to do to make money. In my particular situation, I found myself thinking that this was just the way. As a truck driver, I don't know how your upbringing was or how you were taught or raised during your younger years into your adulthood. But maybe you grew up around trucking. Maybe your parents or your dad or an uncle, a cousin, someone in the family was a trucker, and you were surrounded by trucking, and you thought too that you would enjoy truck driving, and so you jumped into the industry, and even years later you're still a truck driver. And that's something that is good, because maybe you didn't go to college and accumulate debt. And so I'm trying to help those that are trying to go to college and they are undecided on what they want to do. I want to tell you that sometimes a degree is not always necessary. And this is sometimes the message that we were fed growing up and we feel obligated. And many of the times, like myself, you accumulate a lot of school loan debt, and it's very hard to pay that back, especially if you jump into a career field that is going to take you more than 10 years to pay off those debts, and you begin to see that that was not a very good investment. So if this situation sounds like you, again, I want to just motivate you to really think about what you want to do. There's a lot of avenues out there that you can take that don't require a degree. Before I answer the reasons why I enjoy trucking, even after all the formal education, I just want to take a quick moment and let you know that we do have a store where you can purchase t-shirts, and this is one example that I'm wearing now, spiritual or uplifting motivational t-shirts. If that sounds interesting to you, go check it out. We're going to be adding trucking t-shirts as well in the near future, so look out for that. Keep an eye on the website if you enjoy apparel like this. One of the reasons that I enjoy truck driving, because, and I have discussed this in my other videos, is that there's not someone always down your neck. You have freedom to just do the job, and you're not overly worrying about someone there micromanaging you. Now, this is contingent upon a good company. A good company will put trust in their drivers. Your dispatcher's not always calling you and saying, what's your ETA? Are you going to be there on time? And okay, you're going to do this next. And you get that picture where you have these dispatchers just micromanaging you, and that's not a good feeling. And one of the reasons that I enjoy truck driving, and I have not pursued other career fields, is because of this. I have the freedom to just assure that I will do the job properly, be on time, and I get to, hear music, hear things that can feed, my spirit and my mind on the road while I'm driving. And of course, we need to stay focused when we need to stay focused, such as heavy traffic situations, and you understand those times that I'm talking about. Another reason that I enjoy trucking and have jumped into the industry, because I did not need to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on a degree. Fortunately, I did get my CDL license in 2020 of October, when all of the pandemic stuff was happening in the state of Texas, where I'm from originally. The workforce was helping truck drivers get their licenses because they knew that this industry was in demand and they needed more drivers. I'm sure that was one of the reasons. And so fortunately, I went through the process of applying for the Texas Workforce Program to be able to pay about $5,000 of that cost for my CDL. And this is how I was able to obtain my license, thankfully, during that time. And in the education that I was studying, psychology and aeronautics and even theology at one time, I was accumulating a lot of debt trying to complete these programs, and that was, in my learning experience, not a very good investment, because some of those degrees like psychology and even theology don't pay a lot of money, and it would take you a very long time to get rid of any debt that you may have accumulated. So a couple of reasons why I still truck drive. Once again, because I enjoy that I'm pretty much my own person out on the road as long as I'm doing the job, and I don't have that kind of dispatchers that is always down my neck. And the other reason is, going into truck driving, I'm not accumulating all this educational debt. It is on-hands experience. How did you get into the trucking industry? I'm curious to know. Put those in the comments and let me know maybe when you started truck driving, why you started going into the industry. I do read the comments and I enjoy hearing other stories of truck drivers. Another reason why I still truck drive today, even after all those college credits, is because of the stability that truck driving provides. Everything that you see in economics as far as physical goods is moved by many, many truck drivers. And we all know this being in the industry. Now, I realize that it has its ups and downs, especially if you're an independent owner operator. You know this very well. And you also know how challenging it is to be an independent truck driver. But nevertheless, you have opportunities out there to move goods. And I understand all the things that go behind the challenges of just trying to get a piece of the pie, and people are going into price wars just to get the freight. I do understand that those things happen. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that truck drivers are in demand, and I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. Of course, if there are some major law changes and things get disrupted, and then that's a whole different story. But for the most part, I have trust and dependence in trucking because I know that every day I'm going to be moving freight. Every day I know that there's going to be a demand to move goods. And as long as that I'm with a good company, a good trucking company that has the customers, that has the equipment, and they are trustworthy and reliable, I'm going to have work and freight to move. So these are a few things why I'm still truck driving today, and also because of what it provides personally. In a different video, I did go over how I had to reach 100K in trucking and what I had to go through. Go check out that video if you have not seen it. It discusses what I had to go through in order to achieve that kind of salary. But I still truck drive because it took me out of financial struggle. And this is, of course, is depending on how you spend your money, if you're saving your money, and if you're not just squandering it on things unnecessarily. Of course, you can still have a little nest egg if you put away a little bit of your paycheck. In truck driving, it allows you to do that. And so I enjoy that I'm not necessarily living paycheck to paycheck. And of course, we all know that we're not rich as truck drivers, but it does provide for ourselves, and if we have family, and we still get to do certain things in life if we plan them right. So these are a few things, again, why I still truck drive. And I can't imagine if I did go and finish these degree programs where I would be. Maybe if you're like me, you don't like the corporate world, you don't like trying to climb the ladder and answering to a supervisor and a boss all the time. Maybe you don't like the office setting and just being closed in all day, every day. I know that that's necessary in some fields, and people do enjoy their career fields depending on what they do. But personally, I like just being out in the open, seeing different things, exploring different things every day. And this is what truck driving certainly provides. If you're gaining a little bit of insight and value in this trucking discussion, like this video and share it with someone that may be in this particular situation, or what I experienced in my formal education, now jumping into trucking. Maybe it can help them if it relates to them. And if it does not relate to you, I do appreciate you still hearing the video. And maybe another video you can go check out is top reasons why truck drivers quit. If you're in the industry and maybe you want to just hear a little bit about my thoughts about why I think truck drivers quit in the industry, check out the upcoming video in this end screen. And also, if you want to support Survivoneers Trucking channel as a way of your appreciation, you can go check out our store, survivoneers.store, and we have there t-shirts, a variety of t-shirts you can pick from, and this is just a way to show your appreciation. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next trucking video.